Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you had a good week trading. I know I did for sure. The Bullseye trades idea this last week wasn't that great. The market wasn't that great either, so it's kind of in sync, I guess. Thought I'd go through the trade idea, so that you guys can see what it was, my thoughts on it, and also just kind of what's happening in the market in general. So if we look at the market in general, this is what happened this week, these last 5 days. Pretty bad. Very oscillating, but a general downward trend overall. Bit of a spike on the CPI, and then just a fade into Friday here. So not the best, not the worst. Certainly could be worse. So let's look at what Jeff Bishop was saying was a good idea this last week. So this was the email he sent out, DXCM even. And so that was on August 7th. So if we go here, DXCM, August 7th, which was right here. We had this massive sell-off the next day, horrendous. And this just cracked all the way through his stop loss. So I'll show you the email, but I'll mark the stop loss first here, which was at 115. This was the stop loss. So it didn't take long for this thing to smash through it, stop out immediately, even if you bothered getting in. Overall, complete wash of a trade. For me, I didn't get in. I don't buy them when they're this far beneath the stop loss. If they're close to the stop loss at the close, like sometimes I'll buy them and let, you know, the possibility of a bounce happen. But in this case, this is just straight down, total stop out straight away, which is crazy. I'll show you the options contracts in a minute, but let's have a look at the idea, kind of get a feel for what it was all about. So DXCM, let's see what he had to say. My Bullseye trade idea is DXCM. So let's see if he said much about it here. Nope, not much. My plan for DXCM this week is to get started with full size position somewhere near my target entry price. You'll see below. If I'm wrong, I'm using the closing price below 115 as my stop. If things go my way, I'm looking at 115 and 120 is the upside. So I guess 115 is the stop and 120 is the target. So of course we didn't get anywhere close to 120 except at the open, which was just terrible. Yeah, horrendous. Really bad week. Miserable. I don't think many people made money, but we can check because there are comments left under the description in the Raging Bull dashboard. So usually they have, if you click here, some people will have taken the trade, some won't have. Let's see what the general consensus was. I bet a few caught it on the bounce. I know one guy did. Let's see if anybody else caught it on the bounce. Any more thoughts on this? Don't even touch it. With the market pulling back today, I personally am not too interested to buy it today. I want to see if we can rebuild and hold a full day above hourly support, which is 1-1. So Jeff is changing his plan from 115 being his stop to now we're talking about if it can hold 111, then maybe we'll see a bounce up. Let's see if that actually happened. Not really. I mean, kind of, but really kind of wishy-washy. Overall, it was just a terrible week so far. Let's see. Feeling this will fall to 106 or 102 when there's more support. Just did a 105, 100 put spread. In today at 125, out at 107. Ow. ERX and Cabin didn't work out. Never 44. My last one's be a month ago. Win some, lose some. Yeah, it's been tough on the buy side of things at least. However, if you're interested in the sell side of things, where you're selling options to people to collect the premium and you want to win more than 90% of your trades, click the link in the description below. It'll take you to this form right here. Sign up and you'll get my free course, which is in conjunction with Lance from thetatraders.com. We put together this course on how to win 90% of your trades, and it only takes 90 seconds or so to learn the basic concepts, and then a few more minutes just to learn some of the more complex stuff as well if you're interested in that. Definitely worth checking out. Highly, highly recommend this. I'm using a strategy that Lance from thetatraders.com taught me on the futures, and I haven't lost a single trade, and he hasn't either in over a year and a half. So really good stuff. If you're really getting fed up with this up and down by day trading in the markets, this might be something that you're interested in. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. Check it out. Only takes a few seconds to sign up and you'll get the course for free. So if you're not familiar with how to trade sell side, so selling options to people, selling spreads, that kind of thing, this could be really valuable to you. could change your entire financial future and your life going forward. So definitely check it out. Anyway, continuing on the buy side of things, let's see what Jeff said here. Same here, I bet it's an epic bounce. When it does though, don't take this one off the radar. Definitely won't. I like the lower entry price, but I won't get started buying calls yet. This was 3 days ago. Hey Jeff, got filled at 120. Looks like DXCM is trading very close to 115. What are your thoughts? So a lot of people just kind of the chop. I'm looking to make 2 trades actually. Buy the 125 calls like I mentioned above and hope for a fast move higher. So from this, it's not very clear what Jeff actually did, but then I got this other email just earlier. Basically, it was titled something like, "Will the spy break the death line?" or something like that. And it was fairly interesting. You can see it here. It was the PPI manufacturing data that came out this morning wasn't good. Didn't really change the market that much though. It appears that while consumer inflation is cooling, wholesale inflation is still on the rise, not good for the economy, and of course the markets reacted with a significant gap down. Did they? A significant gap down? I mean, I guess, like this is SPY, oh this is DXCM still, let's go to SPY. Yeah, I mean, they gap down. This is crazy though. So I've been trading these futures with Lance from ThetaTraders.com, and despite this gap down, we're still making, or like all our positions are up, even though they're technically bullish biased, right? Time decay is causing them to go to depreciate in value, which is causing us to get closer to making more money. So I hadn't even noticed that we gap down so much. Quite interesting. Just shows like the type of trading that I'm starting to go towards is away from this type of bullseye trades and more towards these sell-side future options contracts, which is something really fun. If you want to learn more about that, I'll leave a link in the description because I really think it's something that people can benefit from. So Jeff is writing here that bulls are basically fighting this death line at, I think, at 445 level. So he's been discussing it all week. Let's look at the 445 level right here. So he's saying this level 445. I'll mark it up here. 445 right here. So yeah, you can see it's oscillating around that. So he's saying if that cracks and breaks, then there's going to be more downside likely. If it holds, we may see a rally next week, but if not, then a major correction could be coming. Okay, well that's scary. I'm not telling you what to do here, but going long right now is risky. Keep your head, blah, blah, blah. So he did actually, in here, he explained what he actually did. So he talks about it was a healthcare device company, the DXCM Bullseye trade that came out on the Monday morning. They're a major innovator in the diabetes management industry. That's interesting. An issue that affects 11% of the population. Wow, that's quite a high percent. Post earnings, shares saw a spike of 8%, followed by an almost 20% sell-off. That's a lot of institutional interest. It's in a sector into which we could see rotation soon. That's pure speculation though, right? We might not. So he sent out the following. So he sent out this email, which I already showed you guys. You can see an entire game plan outlined. Of course, nothing happened with that. It wasn't even, I mean, my triggers for an entry, the option I wanted at the price of pay when I plan to exit, that's if I took the trade. So how did this trade work out? So what did he actually do? I thought DXCM was due for a bullish run, but the ticker had its own ideas, yeah. After I placed the trade, things went south fast. So for me, it wasn't clear that he placed the trade, but apparently he did. And then apparently, so he uses the Keltner channels a lot, and so he's saying this is going to bounce because it's bounced off the -3 Keltner channel. Folks, that's a big move, and I thought the likelihood of it moving back up towards the mean was more than likely than a continued drop. So I do something I almost never do. So I did something. He averaged down. That's right, I bought more calls and added to my position. So the problem I have with Jeff, and I love Jeff. Jeff's great. I've had him on the channel several times. I've known him for a long time. He's a good guy. And the problem here is he's not made that clear that that's what he did in Bullseye trade. This is weird. So you'll notice that circle around we did get a bounce, and I was able to close the new calls for a small gain. So he is making these trades, but he's not telling subscribers, as far as I can see in the comments below. Like, we just looked at that, right? We looked here. I'm looking to make 2 trades actually. So maybe he did in this comment, but it's really not clear. I wish he'd make that a little bit more obvious for Bullseye Trades subscribers, because this is a little bit frustrating. He actually did trade it and got a small win. He still has some of the position open though, so you'll see how it plays out. It'll be interesting to see. So yeah. So then it goes on in this email to talk about critical lessons, defending a position, blah, 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 blah. All right. So, not the best week at all. Very frustrating. The only good thing here is that I don't think these positions would have triggered, but let's have a look. So let's look at the August 18th DXCM calls. So if we go to DXCM, then I go to the August 18th, which is what it's on. I've forgotten already what the value is. Let's see, 125 calls. So here are the 125 calls. They're almost worthless. Right, so I'm going to send those to my chart. Oops. Alright, so 5 days, 5 minutes. That means that August 7th was right here. So they opened at 175-ish, kind of downtrending, and then dropped miserably. What was his entrance? 120. So the entry of 120 is actually pretty good, right? So I'm actually that's a little bit more encouraging here. In case you guys haven't realized, I've been distracted with a lot of other things recently, personal things and also work-related stuff. I haven't been able to take a lot of these trades. So August 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and then Friday. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Okay. So 120 wasn't until down probably like here. Let's draw 120 in on these contracts. Alright, so your 120 entry would have been around here, so you'd have been down for the whole the whole time basically. So this was a losing week. I'm going to mark that as such. I'm going to assume that people would have got in at 120 and out at 0.1. So it's pretty much a complete loss, unfortunately. Hopefully you weren't caught in this. This is really unfortunate. Usually when you see a sell-off on the Tuesday or so, you will get a big bounce, but these just died miserably, so pretty foul. So definitely a nasty losing week for Bullseye trades. I hope nobody got caught in it. I saw one guy did get a bounce on it, but I don't know. It seems like it would have been pretty hard to me. Just check these are actually the right contracts. Yeah, DXCMs. So pretty miserable. Anyway, as I start to go away from this style of trading, like these are great and they work well in a good bullish market, but these have been hard this year. They were ironically easier last year in 2022 when the market was choppier, but it's become much harder this year. So I've started to go away from these a little bit and go more towards the sell side of things. So definitely check this link out, how to sell 90% of your trades in 90 seconds. Also, if you want to know more about how to sell futures options, which are actually even better than this, just let me know. Drop me a comment on this video, and I'll send you, some more information about that as well. Alright guys, hopefully that's helpful. I'll talk to you soon.